What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Says I'm live, so I guess I'm live. It's about 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is Monday. Got about 30 minutes left of Monday, so I figured I would come on and just discuss some things that I feel should definitely help both newcomers to the cryptocurrency space in 2020 to understand what's happened, what to expect, where I think we're going. And what's up, Savage D? What's up, Chris A? Glad to have you guys popping in chat. My chat is supposed to be working, but it's not, and I'm not sure why. I'm gonna have to look at that because typically you can see the chat in the box there, but it's not showing up. Hasn't for a while, so I don't know. But you can always see it on the right panel. 5:30 a.m. here. Wow. Good morning to you. Real PKer, it looks like. So yeah, I mean, this video is primarily about sending a message as much as anything else. You know, I've learned so many incredibly valuable lessons in crypto over the past 2 years. And, you know, I've gone from taking a super passionate interest in the cryptocurrency space to, I mean, I feel being a bit of a player in the field. I mean, in the market, in the space, both as an investor, a bit of a trader, and as well as an entrepreneur. And, you know, just, you know, as examples, obviously I have Crow Trader. You know, a lot of you guys ask for updates on this stuff. Crow Trader beta build version 14 is out right now. The next build is going to be the final version, the first live version, and it's going to rock socks. And, you know, I haven't been talking a lot about Crow Trader because I'm not using it right now. I'm waiting until the final version is complete. Because every time we do a new build, I would say every other build, typically, we have to kind of reset our databases and we start everything from scratch. And it's kind of a pain in the ass, especially for me. It's that whole working backwards thing. What's up, Charlie D? Albuquerque, New Mexico in the house. What's up, Tim? And so I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to start hitting Crow Trader really hard because those of you who tune in to watch me and don't blow me off, I did my video. Was it here? Was that January 20th? I need to double check. I know I'm pretty sure we were red. And I did my video, Bitcoin's going to the moon. Those of you who remember that. And we've gone up. I'm pretty sure the price, yeah, it was right about, it was like 8,200, I think, when I did the video. So we might have been right down here. And wow, here we are, almost up $1,000 since that call, that late night crypto video call where I said we were going to the moon. And I was talking about this guppy indicator, and I was talking, you know, about all of this stuff going on. And, you know, most of the time I would say, like, I don't know what's happening. Like, how many times have I said that? And, you know, because I just didn't, if I don't see it, I'm not going to say it. And you know, somebody posted in the comments and called me a moon boy. And I just flat out said, I said, you know what? You know, maybe, you know, but I've been right so far. And so, and I'm not one to stand here and you know, I'm not trying to sell trade signal. I know what a lot of these guys are doing, right? And I'm very well aware, and I'm so aware of what's happening that I just don't want to play into it. I know some of these guys have made 7 figures selling trade signals, and they've wrecked a lot of people from it. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm like, look, if you buy and you hold, you only lose what you sell at a loss. If you get out, if you go into a position as a trader and you sell at a loss, well, you're like, well, I cut my losses, no big deal. But if you go in as an investor and you sell at significant losses, well, that to me is just not smart on a lot of levels, especially in the cryptocurrency space. And I'm going to tell you why. Jason, was there a thing you were in talks about with CBS, or was it HBO about a year ago? Yeah, there's apparently a crypto documentary. I guess I'd call him a friend of mine. You know, he JD Serafine is he's a Hollywood film producer, and I actually first met him back in Daytona at a Daytona 500 race. Or not, was it the Daytona? I don't know if it was Daytona 500, but it was a NASCAR race. And he was shooting a documentary about Dragon Chain. But he was also working on another project about, and I don't even know if that's come out or what's happened with that, or if it was all part of the same project. I'm not 100% sure, but myself and Robert Beatles, I'm pretty sure was out there, and Crypto Love was out there, and we had a good time, but we were all interviewed for this documentary, and since then I think the documentary has kind of morphed into a bigger deal, and I know there were talks with HBO, and there were talks with, I think now, I'm not even sure what I can say, honestly, because I have been kind of updated a little bit about it. It's coming, apparently, and you know, JD likes to crack jokes and stuff. JD wants me to be in that movie about Atari as well. That hasn't started filming or anything yet, and they're still working on that, but he apparently wants me to be a biker in this movie. So we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I mean, JD's definitely not the typical Hollywood producer type guy. He's not full of shit. He's not full of himself. He's very, I would almost call him like a very, like you can tell the guy's got a lot of integrity, and he cares genuinely about like the crypto space, about filmmaking, about all these things that he's doing. And he's not a blowhard, you know, so we'll see. I mean, a lot of things could happen between now and you know, then, but yeah, that's coming. My 11-year-old calls the coronavirus Kung Flu. Almost spit out my pork chop. Oh my God, that's like terrible and hilarious at the same time. The virus is causing the smart money to move into crypto. Hopefully we can get it under control. Yeah, I saw something about that. It's apparently like a man-made virus that was created back in 2005. And I think it's funny. I even told my wife, like, I don't know a lot about this virus other than it's been killing some people in China. And by the way, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant and his daughter. I'm not even a basketball fan. But my wife and I were talking about this yesterday, and it was hard for me to not get emotional. I mean, not to sound disrespectful, I've never cared about Kobe Bryant, like as an athlete or basketball player. I just don't follow it. But as a human being, and I'm not saying he was bad or anything, I'm just saying I don't follow that stuff. So I'm not like, oh, you know, go Kobe. I'm not like cheering for him in basketball games, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But man, when I found out, somebody posted in chat what had happened, and I was like, oh, because I mean, let's face it, there are a lot of trolls and people, they just say all kinds of random made up stuff in chat just to be little punks. And so I thought somebody was being a smart ass, like maybe they lost their game, and you know, Kobe, like it was Kobe's team, like rest in peace, you're dead for the season, that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't even think it's basketball season. So that shows you how much I know about basketball. But I was really kind of taken aback by that, because I visualized a lot, and I've always been a bit of an empath in the sense that, you know, as soon as I heard about that, I have these like little visions, not visions. It's not the right word. It's not like a psychic thing or anything, but it's hard for my mind to not put myself into those situations and imagining them happening to me and almost feeling what happens in that situation. It's kind of difficult to say, but he was retired. Okay, well, again, shows how much I know. But like it was like I was emotional because I was picturing myself, you know, in a helicopter crash, what it feels like when you're jerked around, you know, and then to magnify that situation by this happening to you and your daughter. Like I can't even process this kind of stuff. I can't even talk about it. It just hits home. It hit home really hard, and it's, is really, really sad. So, my love and respect and everything goes out to his family and everyone else that was on that helicopter. From what I gathered, it was a situation where I guess he takes the helicopter everywhere. Wasn't even that far away, but the fog was so thick, everyone else was being grounded. But as a private helicopter owner, he could pretty much do what he wants. I guess they went against it and they couldn't see and they crashed into the side of a mountain or something. It was just really sad. But yeah, absolute tragedy. Absolute tragedy. Whew. I'm not even feeling emotional. It's just I can't help it when I talk about stuff like that. Like you can't help but to feel for everybody. So anyway, I don't even remember what the hell I was saying now. I'm so thrown off. But yeah, crypto. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I felt pretty good about this. Now since I went live, it looks like we've dropped $20. We're gonna have some ebbs and flows, but let's get serious now on the whole point of this video tonight. I hope people realize that when they watch me, I'm not one of those YouTubers that just goes live and I've got everything quickly edited and everything ready to go for a quick blast of info over 15 minutes. It's just never been my style. I feel like to do content that way, there's nothing wrong with it if you get something out of it, but I feel like, I feel like to me, that's when you become just a name in the space and not a person. And it's, and it works. It works for a lot of people. I mean, hell, look at my views. I'm not getting 50,000, a million views or anything like that. But you know what, it is what it is. And I enjoy doing things the way I do them. And maybe someday I'll do things in a more polished, cut up, edited, snap kind of manner. And I don't know, but it's just not my way. So anyway, here's the fact. The fact of the matter is that cryptocurrency is a cyclical market, especially right now. And these insane ebbs and flows of the market over 4-year time periods in general are quite frankly due partially to, I think, algorithmic bot trading. I think it's partially due to the way Bitcoin was programmed, the halving, the deflationary mechanisms coded in place so that Bitcoin's value basically is pushed up by demand against a supply that's cut in half. So that in essence it's almost inevitable that Bitcoin's value continues to rise. And with that, you've got, I've always kind of joked around about Bitcoin being the first vampire, right? This is Count Dracula. And all these altcoins are like the little the vampires that he created. And it's almost like if you cut off the head of Bitcoin, everything else falls, right? That's the way I look at the crypto market, especially when it comes to market capitalization, growth in the market. It starts with Bitcoin, and then it's almost like it's like a mama bird getting ready to feed her baby birds, right? What does she do? She goes out, she gets the worm, she brings it back, feeds the youngins, they start to grow, then maybe as they get a little older, they start to take care of her. It's kind of this back and forth relationship. And there are a lot of analogies I can make up on a whim. And, a lot of people, I absolutely hate it when I see Bitcoin maximalists talking about shitcoin this, shitcoin that. It's funny for a minute, but ultimately, it's also extremely misleading. And, I'm going to assume, even though I know a lot of you in chat, because I love you and you support me and you're here every damn time I go live, but I'm going to assume that there are going to be a lot of people watching this. And what's up, Crypto Face? I enjoyed listening to you go off and watch you get busted on blackjack last night. That was funny. Stick to market cipher, brother. I have it. I'm using Market Cipher right now. I forgot so much about how to use this, so I'm going to need to refresh myself. Some of it I remember, and some of it I understand, and like the little symbols and stuff above I remember some of it. But anyway, and And no, I did not buy Hex. You're crazy. And that's another thing too. Like, I brought on Richard because I was curious. I didn't know what all the fuss and muss was about. I didn't know, I saw everybody running all over the internet calling him a scammer and saying he was scamming people out of all this money. And I'm thinking, I didn't know. I didn't know him. I didn't know the project. I just knew that he had kind of a name in the space. As having been an early adopter and had done well for himself. And Jay McShay, what's up? And so I thought, well, I'll just have him on my channel and just ask him directly all my questions, and it wasn't like, I was trying to promote Hex. Like, no, I would never touch that with a 10-foot pole. I thought, well, you know what? I'll interview him and I'll post some argument. Everybody knows I don't bring people on my channel to ambush them. I'm not like an ambush journalist. I'm happy to give people a voice to speak their mind and their opinion and, discuss things, but doesn't mean that I'm like a supporter in that sense. If the devil rose up from the ground and wanted to come on my channel and have a discussion, I'd be more than happy to like ask him a whole bunch of questions. Doesn't mean I want to be buddies. So anyway, and it's not like, I don't even do things like that because I'm thinking, I'm going to get a bunch of views for this one. I don't really think like that. I probably should, but I don't. That's just it's not really what I do. I feel like the views are going to come if the content's worthwhile, if people like me, if people want to hear this big old voice ramble on for an hour or so, then they'll tune in. And especially if people... I feel like in the midst of an hour-long live stream, I put out a lot of really good bits of information that resonate with people, a lot longer than when you watch a little 15-minute video that's real snap, 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 and it's over. I just think people, I don't know. I think that people learn a little bit better the way I deliver things. I could be wrong, and everybody's different, but anyway, I'm so, like, I have to stop looking at chat. Yeah, dude, we might have to do that, Face. I might have to do that just to get caught up. So anyway, yeah, I'm not a proponent of that. I will also say I had to basically kick him out of my Telegram group. I have like 140 influencers, like all the people you guys watch. I have them all in a private group, and everybody chats and it's a cool thing. I had to kick Richard out because he was constantly spamming everybody with this Hex shit. And I'm like, dude, I've already warned you. I had to get rid of him. I mean, I felt bad that I had to do that, but it's like, I'm actually pretty sure I've had to put a couple warnings out there about it. I'm like, dude, that's not what this is about. You're done promoting this stuff, man. And I haven't said anything to him since. I haven't heard anything from him since. So he's just going about his business. So anyway. So here's the thing. From here, and this is just a guess, but my guess is right now we're probably going to bounce off of this, and we might come down a little bit more before we continue going back up. That's just my guess, okay? And I haven't done any real crazy technical analysis or anything. I just drew this trend line from this top here, and I just let it go straight through, like. And we rose above it, but I think that ultimately we're going to stay underneath it for a little bit. We could blow past it. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we grew quite a bit today, and so I like the movement, but I want to see more momentum. I haven't even checked volume. I don't even know what volume is like right now. I haven't even looked at that. But anyway, that's not even what this is about. Ultimately, I've been watching the ebb and flow of the market. Every time Bitcoin starts to pump up, it looks like people take little bits of the profit that they made from the Bitcoin pump. Like if they bought in at $8,000, Bitcoin starts to shoot up at 8,500. They take like $100 of that profit and throw it into an altcoin. And I've also kind of noticed that projects that started pumping a bit like a week ago are not pumping now, and other projects that were down a week ago are now up. And it seems to be a pattern of a back and forth kind of thing. They're all going up slowly and incrementally, but it's like they're going up a little bit and then they're coming down a little bit. And then this is going up, and it's just this up and down. Now, I don't know if that's algorithmic bot trading at play. But, you know, I mean, and realistically, the volume of, I mean, these are some of the worst ones, but I mean, like $13,000 in trade volume, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. And so it's real easy to affect a price of like 9 cents for this. I don't even know what this is, ABC coin, whatever. But I was kind of like interested in seeing the fact that Steam, over the last 7 days, it's basically gone down an average of a percentage a day for the last week. Well, that's kind of odd. Theta is another project that I've actually liked. I was actually I thought this was very promising. I reviewed the ICO a long time ago, and I still like the idea of it. And they're still kind of around, and every once in a while, I'll see them pump a bit. Stellar Lumens, another one. I mean, they're doing 6 million a day in trade volume right now. They're sitting at 6 cents. I expect them to go up. A shocker is Chainlink. Chainlink is something that had such a crazy pump, came out of nowhere. Everybody, even Charles, likes this project. And they're doing 6.3 million a day in trading volume. They're down almost 5% over 7 days. Now, if I were to flip it and reverse it, you'll see some pretty big gainers over the last 7 days. Eternal, I don't even know what this is, but it's up almost 40% over the last 7 days. Swipe, I need to check some of this stuff out, and I think it's time for me to start diving into some of these other altcoin projects. But a lot of these, like Icon's up 14% over the last 7 days. That's pretty good. It ICO'd at 11 cents, and it's still up 7 cents. Throughout this whole bear market, I don't think it's ever dipped below its original ICO price, which says something, okay? It says quite a bit to me. Now, I didn't even mean to do that. Up 50% over the month. That's crazy. So, here's the thing. Kyber Network, up almost 10%. That's really cool. Cardano, here's the one thing that I'm always looking at, for those of you that are curious. I'm always Celsius Network, 15 cents. Who was the first to be bullish on Celsius Network? Who said that this was going to do something when nobody out there was talking about it? Nobody out there cared. Who was the one? Even Alex Mashinsky himself has credited me so many times for being the first guy to ever speak highly of the project, and thanks me all the time. Like, and I love to see. Look, I've been wrong about some projects, okay? I'm not going to sit here and toot my own horn all night. I've been wrong about projects. But, you know, there are some times where you just can't possibly know what's smoke and mirrors and what's not. But I'm very happy to see this. Up 20%. I'll call it 20%. I'll round up a little bit. Up 20% over the past 7 days. That's pretty sweet. Up 8% over 24 hours. Bing, bang, boom. But what I love to see more than anything, I love to see Cardano up 7.5%, while Ethereum is only up 3.66%. And this has been a very regular pattern, folks. I'm seeing Cardano rise up higher and quicker than Ethereum, which tells me, okay, so let's break this whole kind of philosophy down a little bit. All right. You know, a lot of people got into the crypto market, including myself, in 2017. We were exposed to this fantastic dream, this, as I always call it, this era of disruption, this new asset class, this new technology that's going to take over the world. And a lot of us got it, you know, and when it clicked in our minds, we said, you know what? I want to learn everything I can about this. And that passion and that drive drove a lot of us to dive into every project we could, to talk about crypto every day on our channels. You know, a lot of us made a good chunk of money talking about different projects and reading white papers. I mean, I had companies offering me a Bitcoin just to read their white paper and tell them whether or not I thought it was a good project. Okay. And I wouldn't do that. I always told them, like, no, I'm not going to just read it. Like, if I'm going to put the time in, it's going to be content on my channel. So you've got to roll the dice as to whether or not I'm going to like the project. But so anyway, and cool. It was a great year. I mean, everything I did was over the course of like 6 months, right? And then the market started to come down, and then everything started to just disappear. People started to fade away. You know, altcoin project teams would just be gone. And because a lot of people, you know, a lot of people took Ethereum for these project tokens, okay? And when the market started to go down and Ethereum started to drop from 1,500 to 1,200 to 900 to 600 and so forth and so on, the finances that a lot of these ICO projects initially thought they had available started to go away too. So their operating capital started to just go away. And as such, some of the projects did as well. And there are a lot of projects that, some of these projects, especially the ones that were funded at the height of the market, liquidated immediately and turned it into cash, okay? So it's almost like the believers, got screwed, right? And those who weren't as passionate, those who weren't maybe as bullish on the space, yet they were trying everything to crowdfund and capitalize from it. Well, let's just say maybe they made a smart decision by liquidating quickly and turning everything into cash. And then they, if they got $5 million at ICO, they had $5 million. They liquidated it as it came in, and they didn't watch it go away. And some of these projects have lasted through this bear market until now. And I've talked to a lot of these different CEOs. I've talked to a lot of these projects, and, just to get updates. Some of them won't even talk to me. Some of them try to update me as often as they can. Some of the CEOs of some of these projects, I talked to one, and I won't say who, but I'll talk to one who he basically had to sell his house, downsize his house, so that his living expenses would be so much less to enable him to continue working and developing on his project. And I'm like, dude, you sacrifice. I mean, that you paid your dues. You're paying your dues. Like, to sacrifice that in the name of this huge project you've got going on, instead of just taking the money and running, says a lot to me. I want to say who I'm talking about. I've mentioned them before, and I think that their project has legs, and I think it's going to do really well. As a matter of fact, one of my business partners is a very, very big investor in the project. And, there are other projects out there. Like, I know, like CoinLion. CoinLion gave me so much shit when they heard I was planning on launching my own exchange. Oh, you're a backstabber. You're an asshole. You're this. I'm like, no. There are hundreds of exchanges out there. And, but I really like Josh. And I thought, I hope they do well. Regardless of whether or not I was launching an exchange, I really wanted to see them do well. And I had things that I was interested in doing to continue helping them, but they were all a little salty at me. Maybe it was my fault. But I think that there's still probably a chance that they're going to do well if they're. I haven't even looked into them, to be frank. I'm assuming that they've launched by now, but it's really difficult to launch to a market that's sleeping. But the point I'm making is that in 2020 is going to be the year that money starts coming back into Bitcoin and money starts coming back into altcoins. Okay, we're 4 months from Bitcoin's halving. And I already went through, Bitcoin's halving and explaining what's going to happen there. I've explained it numerous times on this channel. And I think that once we've reached the original all-time high of Bitcoin, let's just call it 20 grand flat, we're going to start seeing a significant amount of money going into the altcoins, because it's going to be so much easier to double, triple, quadruple, get 10x, 20x gains on your altcoin investments. Think about it. Cardano is right now, it's at 0.0, it's at 4 cents, almost 5 cents, okay? Now, if I put $173 into buying one Ethereum and it doubles, or I put the same money into Cardano, and it, if either one of these reaches its all-time high, which one do you think I'm going to make the most money from? So the question from there is, well, there are a whole lot of different projects right now in the altcoin sphere that you can make significant gains from. But where am I going to put my money? Which one of these altcoins are going to be my safest bet? Those are going to be the projects that we all got into before. A lot of people are holding back, so there's going to be some price resistance. But once we've blown through that, or the people who invested at a higher price point, they see, well, you know what? I'm at break even now, but we're still just getting started. I'm going to go ahead and ride this out, but I'm going to ride it out much more cautiously than I did the first time, right? And the fact of the matter is there's going to be so much more money going into the space this time around than there was last time that the gains are likely going to be quite a bit better. That's my honest opinion. So I consider it interest on the time I've held some of these bags, okay? But the key is really, like these projects are all projects that I keep my eye on, that I've invested in, that I'm waiting to see do really, really well. And I want them all to do much better than Ethereum. And I believe that the majority of these likely will. And of course, some of that is based on when you got into these projects. At what value did you get into these projects by investing in them through Ethereum compared to, basically the price difference, right? I got into a lot of these projects when Ethereum was worth a lot more, but the altcoins weren't. And so it was a very nice spread. So I'm hoping to do pretty well with a lot of these altcoins. But with newcomers coming into the space, especially if you're entering the space with fiat right now, the world is your oyster. I mean, a lot of these projects I expect to see do well, okay? Because all of these, let me see here. Yeah, all of these have withstood the bear market to a certain degree and have continued to push forward. Have continued to push forward in their development and their use case and all this stuff, right? And so that's what I look for. I look for projects that I'm not really as interested now in brand new projects. I'm not really as interested now in projects making a bunch of bold promises that we don't know if they can deliver. Can they survive through, another bear market? There are just too many questions I have. We'll see. And there are going to be a lot of ICOs, a lot of new projects that come about that get funded, and people are going to make money flipping those tokens. But I also believe that the regulation is going to continue tightening the noose around a lot of these altcoin projects, these ICOs, STOs, so forth and so on. Hell, STOs, you're likely not even going to be able to get into unless you're accredited moving forward. And so we're going to be back to and I think that that's a part of the reason why they're working on opening up the requirements to be considered wow, I'm losing it tonight. The requirements of being an accredited investor. They're making it easier to become one, okay? Which I think is a good thing, because personally I think if you're old enough to drink, smoke, die for your country, you're old enough to make your own damn decisions when it comes to your finances. But again, the question is, well, is it a power trip to keep, people with very little from getting opportunities that can help them generate a lot? What is the accredited investor really all about? Like, who is that really protecting? Is it protecting the ones that already have from the ones that don't? That to me is what I feel it's protecting more than anything. And I do believe that a lot of this is a bit of an old boys network. And so, and it's like, it is what it is. I mean, hell, an old boys network built this country. So that's not going to change anything. And some of it, I actually agree, is a good thing. Okay. However, I do believe that, look, if I make $100 a week and I want to invest $10 of that into an opportunity that I can get into for a penny that might make, $35 per penny, I should have the right to take that risk. Just like I have the right to go to a casino. If I have the right to go to a casino and bet 20,000 cash on black and lose it all in a matter of seconds, you get what I'm saying? So there's just not a lot of sense behind this whole accredited investor thing to me. I just don't see who it helps or who it really truly protects. And I think that over time, as digital assets continue to change and evolve and use cases continue to open up and expand, more and more people are going to be taking an active interest and a vested interest in the market. And when they do, there's going to be a lot of pressure on these groups to just maybe get rid of the accreditation altogether, right? This accredited investor nonsense. Because it's going to be a whole new paradigm of investment opportunity for the public. And I think that when you have millions of people across the globe, or let's just say across the US, wanting to get into cryptocurrency investments, but they're told they can't because they don't make enough money, after all these teenagers and everybody else in the world were made crazy amounts of money in the space before they even heard about it, they're going to get real pissed off about that. And they're going to start making sure that their votes change to support the people that support them. And I just think it's going to become a political issue, much more so than it is now. That's going to be the future. The more power that cryptocurrency gets, the more difficulty I think that regulators and basically people that are holding a lot of the public's head underwater are going to have to keep doing it. So overall, what I'm saying is that, what is the truth about cryptocurrency investing in 2020? Well, the truth is that a lot of people are going to make a hell of a lot of money over the next 2 years. And it could be any one of us. Okay. Basically getting into just about any project right now is likely going to make everyone a lot of money. That's honestly my guess. Some of these now, I would never just say, oh, I've got $1,000 to invest, I'm going to just go dump it all into one project. I would never do that. You want to diversify, because in crypto, you never know what's going to happen. You never really know for sure what's going to happen. The project that you invest in that you think is going to be total garbage may turn out to be one of the biggest outliers in the industry. The project that you think is the best thing since sliced bread and Ethereum could go belly up for one reason or another. You just never know. So you want to always try and play it safe. You want to make sure that you have several irons in the fire, right? And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I've got this disclaimer that runs through the whole thing, but I'm not a financial professional, okay? I'm just some guy on the internet. But I think the fact of the matter is that as the market continues to climb, and especially post-halving, I think pandemonium is going to start all over again. And it's going to be the people that are taking some of that Bitcoin profit, and they're putting it into altcoins. Altcoins go up, then they're going to take some of that profit, buy back into Bitcoin. I'm telling you, it's going to be that back and forth game that's definitely going to change the way things are happening. The volatility is going to send the entire market up, because the volume, the market caps, the liquidity of everything is going to start to rise. And even the shittiest of shitcoin is going to have its day. I'm telling you. I mean, people have been trading Dogecoin now since the beginning, and it started as a joke, okay? And it's actually like building value. So, yeah, there are other points, but I'm going to take a look at chat. 2020 is going to be the year of the IPO. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, you know what? Smash that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. I do a lot of crazy stuff. And on a side note, I did want to let people know, I've actually started using, I started using it a little while ago on one of my devices. And I use it for different things. Like if somebody tried to hack my phone again, they're not going to get anything. But, and I'm not saying this because I haven't even talked to Beatles quite a while, but I really dig Monarch Wallet. He's not paying me to tell you that, but I actually really dig it. And I've used the desktop version and I've used the mobile version. The mobile version has a lot more. Like you can do a lot more with it. But I really like the direction Monarch's going in terms of use case. Being able to hold your crypto and then use your crypto to pay bills and things. I mean, that's going to be huge, man. And I think Monarch Wallet is laying the foundation for itself now, but I almost feel like it's ahead of its time in the sense that the mass adoption isn't here yet, but it's coming. And when it does, I would love to overhaul the design and the colors. I feel like everything kind of bland and muted, but I've told them, I'm like, dude, the website, the orange, I hate orange, but maybe it's just me, but I just hate orange in anything. But I love the app. I love the wallet. I mean, it works really well. I used it for some stuff. And it's very clean, and I commend them. I mean, and there's a lot of stuff that they're working on. So yeah, I want to update everybody on the Crow Cardano pool. This says we're only at 13 million, but I know that's not true. My developer told me today we broke 20 million. So I'm not sure if this has to update like the next epoch or something. And the people in the Telegram group are like totally loving their gains. A lot of people we've noticed recently are switching from other pools that haven't been doing as well, and they've come to the Crow pool, and they're like, oh my gosh, my gains have been so much better. If you don't believe me, go in the Telegram, the Cardano Telegram group and check for yourself. I was going to link it, but I have to log into it and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm really proud of that. Crow Trader. The next version is going to be this final version. It's going to be the first official live version of the bot, and it is coming soon. You're going to start seeing me use this a lot more here in the near future. Bitcoin mining, I love the fact that all these people that have bought all these miners are starting to see some much better profits. So that I'm getting pumped about that. I really look forward to a $10,000 plus Bitcoin. That's for sure, because that's really going to make a world of difference. Yeah, so I'm really happy about this stuff. The one thing I will say is, you know, if you're getting into crypto, especially as a newcomer, just make sure you do your work. And here's the thing that I want to warn you about moving forward, because this is just an absolute fact. I don't care what anybody says. Be cautious of all of us YouTubers. I mean, every single one of us. I don't care how, including me, okay? I have lots of bags, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be talking a lot about a lot of the different projects I've invested in. And I don't necessarily consider that shilling. I invested in these projects because I believe in what they're doing, and I think they're going to have a lot of use case. You know, and I've held strong because I believe that when the market comes back, a lot of these projects are going to shine once again. However, there are going to be a lot of people who didn't buy into these projects because they believed in them. There are going to be a lot of people out there trying to tout, promote, shill, and basically get you to buy a bunch of garbage that you shouldn't, okay? Just because they want to get those prices up for themselves to liquidate. And just know that that's coming, because I guarantee you it's going to be. And, you know, when you look at a project, you really need to take a look. What's up, Chris O'Neill? Welcome, man. Glad you subscribed. I don't see many subscribers lately. I don't think I'm as exciting as I used to be. I don't know. But like Icon, like I told you, it ICO'd at 11 cents. And it pumped, man. It did really, really well. Its all-time high was $12.64. This is supposed to be like, you know, wants to be the largest blockchain networks in the world, will boast independent blockchains comprised of reputable institutions, yada, yada, yada. I think I see our Icon's going to do real well, okay? I don't even hold any of it right now personally, but I still think it's going to do pretty well. And the fact of the matter is when you go, what you want to do is you want to check, you want to check volume, okay? 15 million in volume. All right, so that's pretty solid. That means there's a lot of interest. There are a lot of people still trading it, buying it, and selling it. It's an active product. But you want to make sure that you're checking things like GitHub. You want to make sure that you're checking Twitter. You want to make sure that you're checking their own website for news announcements and things like that. And you just want to make sure that they're still active. Projects, you know what, I'll tell you something. And this is no, I'm going to save that for another video. But you know, there are some projects that just straight drop the ball and like just either complete ignorance or complete ineptitude. I'm not sure which. Maybe a combination of both. And I will be. There's one project in particular that I, I hope I'm wrong, but so far they have done absolutely nothing to impress me. And it's really frustrating to see. And I've tried talking to them. I did have one phone conversation with one of the higher ups, and she flat out told me, she's like, look, our brick and mortar, like our, traditional market side is doing really, really well. But the crypto side of our business has gone completely flat. And they've done stupid shit that I'm like, who the hell? I mean, if you were to try and go to their website, like the original website that they were pumping and they did their ICO and all this other stuff with, it's a parked page now because they relaunched the website with a new domain, but they didn't redirect their old one to the new one. They just let it basically die. And I'm like, who does that? What year were you born? Were you born in 1960 and then just like traveled in time to now and you don't know what you're supposed to do? Or like, it blowing my mind. But anyway, when are you going to do videos on projects that just outright took our money and ran? First of all, that's really difficult. That's really difficult to do. Okay. One, I kind of made it like a 2020 thing where I wanted to focus on the good, not the bad. Because there's nothing you can do about it now. Like I've invested in some projects that have just gone complete shit. And I'm like, okay, well, moving on. Like there's just not a lot. First of all, it's very difficult to prove. And B, it's just bad energy. Like it's bad. I get pissed off and I don't want to spend 2020 pissed off. I want to spend 2020 excited. And I want to say, there are projects that I will definitely make note of, or I will make little, just kind of like updates, but I'm not planning on doing any full expose, type stuff because I don't want to get sued. Here's the thing. There are some YouTubers out there that are real ballsy and they don't really seem to give a shit until they get caught with a case. And it's going to happen to some of these guys. I guarantee it. And you talk about the wrong project in the wrong way, especially if you're accusing them of fraud or anything, and you don't have proof, you can be sued heavily. And it's just not something that I really want to dive into, if I'm honest. I've got family to feed. I'm not trying to do anything that's going to get me in any trouble whatsoever. But I'm sure there are going to be others, likely others from other countries that are going to be more. And look, a lot of the failed projects, that's all going to come out. It's not going to be a secret. Trust me on that. Crow, be honest, do you still have your tel coins? I do. I legit held. I did not sell off anything. If I've done anything, I've traded Bitcoin and used my bot. I have not sold any of the altcoins I bought. I know that's hard to believe. And it's hard for me too, because I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? No, I'm kidding. I know exactly what I was thinking. Look, I got into projects that I believed in, and I like, if they go down, I'm going down with the ship. Like, that's the way I see it. And maybe that's a stubborn thing. And I know a lot of big technical traders are going to look and they're going to be like, oh, you're an idiot. You're not a trader, Crow. You're just a moon boy tool bag. Whatever. Okay. I do things my way. We'll see what happens in the end. Like I've always said, you could get into 35 different projects. You hold long term. You lower your capital gains tax. Okay. And, if half of those projects moon and the other half die, you're still going to do really, really, really well. And then you're going to pay significantly less capital gains tax on top of it. I'm happy with that. I'm not a greedy dude. I'm really not a greedy dude. Actually, I feel like I'm quite generous in a lot of ways. But I'm learning. I'm learning that if you I'm okay being me. Even saying that just sounds really weird. I'm not perfect, and I try to make the best decisions possible. And I try to protect people. I try to do right by everyone. I'm always brutally honest. Honestly, a part of my honesty comes from the fact that I'm just too lazy to lie. No, I'm kidding. I just, especially at this age, you just have to be okay being you. And I'm not one to worry about keeping up with the Joneses. I'm not one to worry about, oh, I've got to make $50 million. I want a big yacht. I don't really care. I just want to live the life I want to live. I don't care if I have a Lambo. I don't care if I have a, $10 million mansion in Malibu. I don't give a shit about that. I just want myself and the people I care about, my friends, the people who have supported me. I want to make sure that we all do well together. That's what matters most to me. And that doesn't always necessarily mean trading. That doesn't mean, it doesn't mean a lot of things. But I'm okay being me. I'm okay not getting 50,000 views a video. I'm okay not, I'm okay being me. It is what it is. Just like everything that I do. It is what it is. I call it how I see it. You either love it or you don't. And either way is fine. And that's just the way I look at it. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Where do I see ADA going long term? Kicking the shit out of Ethereum. That's what I see ADA doing long term. I'm telling you guys, I've been saying this now for 2 years. Cardano will have its, I don't think it's just going to be a day. I think Cardano is going to have its decade. And, I love the project. And look, there, for whatever reason, it seems Charles may have quite a few haters and people. And like, if I watch his chat, I watch every time I'm aware, I always watch his AMAs. And he comes out and look, he has balls of steel, folks. If things aren't going well, he comes out live and he says, you know what? Things aren't going well, but we're working on it and we're going to make it better. We really planned on making this deadline, but unfortunately we're not. He comes out and he faces people in a live AMA all the time to explain the ins and outs, the goings on, good, bad, or ugly. He doesn't hide behind his money. He doesn't sit around and say, well, we'll just let the public wonder for a year until we get everything done. He is an active proponent of this community, and I respect that. And it would be very easy for him to just send out news releases, good, bad, or ugly, to people and let them talk for him. You know what I mean? And just kind of hide in his ivory tower. Charles is rich, man. Like, Charles has money, okay? He's doing all of this because A, he can, B, because he's brilliant, and he wants to make changes in the world. And he wants people to use Cardano to do that. And I believe he's going to. And, look, he can have his haters and whatever. I'm okay with that. Not everybody, fuck, everyone in the world hated Steve Jobs. I mean, look, I'm not, may he rest in peace and all that, but it's no secret the guy was a prick. And he wasn't even the creator. Wozniak was. Jobs was basically the pitch man, the idea man. I mean, he basically told a bunch of engineers, hey, I want this, build it. And then he sells it. And it's like, good job, great, wonderful. Kind of what I'm doing with Crow Trader. Hey, Jason, if you watch this, you must be my Wozniak. But he's not the brain or the genius mind behind a lot of that stuff. He might be an idea man, but that's it. Anybody can be an idea man. I want a car that flies. Do I get credit if somebody builds it? Anyway, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But overall, Cardano long term, sky's the freaking limit, man. I mean, honestly, sky's not the limit. The stars are the limit for Cardano. And I do firmly believe that Cardano is going to suck up a lot of market share from Ethereum. And here's the thing. If the market started really coming back right now, okay, let's just say Bitcoin were to go into its all-time high tomorrow. It's not going to, don't get me wrong. But if it did, and money started pouring into the altcoins, where would money likely go first? Probably Ethereum initially. And then a lot of that profit is going to be teetering down into other projects with Cardano. I bet you Cardano's in the top 10 of every major investor in the world. I'm willing to bet you that that's probably true. I could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet I'm not. And the reason why is because everybody, a lot of the, especially those in the know what Cardano is, where it came from, and where it's going. And the only thing holding Cardano back, in my opinion, right now, is the decentralization. Once Shelley and Gorgon and all that, once all that's done, and Cardano is truly decentralized, where do you think it's going to end up first? It's going to end up on CoinBase. I'm very confident in that. I'd be absolutely shocked if it didn't. I expect to see it on CoinBase. And when the market starts coming back and they have a commercially viable project that's truly decentralized with smart contracts and the ability for the Ethereum application developers to basically just mosey on over to the Cardano blockchain, where do you think they're going to go? A faster, more scalable, more secure, more decentralized network? They're going to go to Cardano. And so a lot of that market cap, a lot of that liquidity, a lot of that just everything, transactions, all that stuff that beefs up a blockchain network is going to come to Cardano. And to be quite honest, I feel like $1.33 at being their original all-time high, I think that's going to be nothing in comparison to what's coming. I did prediction videos in the past about, seeing a $10 Cardano someday. $5 Cardano someday, and a lot of people were like, yeah right, you're crazy, the market cap would have to be X. No shit, market cap could very well get to that X, because there's a lot more money in the crypto space right now than there probably ever has been. I mean, well, that's not what I'm saying. A lot more money that has gone in to buy and hold, okay, and it's going to continue to grow. So I did the numbers the last time. Like the last time Bitcoin, prior to the 2017, the last altcoin. Man, I had these notes written down somewhere. I wonder if they're anywhere handy. Well, I don't remember, but I think it was like 14 or 20x more Bitcoin, more volume, more market share, more market cap than there was at the previous all-time high. So yeah, I mean, it's all happening. What's up, Rolex 23 in the house? Hey everyone, I'm here holding 1.5 million Cardano. Smash up the likes for Jason. Man, you are going to be so stupid rich, Rolex. I can't wait for my $250,000 YouTube. Hey, how about that for history? YouTuber gets $250,000 tip from new multi-millionaire from buying Cardano. Crypto face, what are you tipping me for? For the simple person that doesn't know about Cardano, what makes it or will make it better than Ethereum, and why are you so pro Cardano? Man, there's so much to that. Well, first of all, scalability is going to be a big factor. Ethereum doesn't have any. It's struggled with scalability since inception. And a lot of the stuff that Ethereum has promised or said was going to come has already, people give Charles crap because something takes 3 months longer than it's supposed to. There are things Ethereum promised 2 years ago that still haven't happened. Okay. And so, when you compare apples to oranges, well, you're going to get completely different results than you think you should. I believe that really this is an apples to oranges comparison. The technology is better. Everything about Cardano, I believe, either is or will be soon far superior to the technology in Ethereum. And, let's face it, if you're talking about adoption, Ethereum's big claim to fame was the ICO market. Well, regulators have already put a big stranglehold on the ICO market to a great extent. A lot of the ICOs that we have are going to be either done privately through security tokens, or they're going to be hosted outside of the country. And a lot of the people outside of the country aren't going to be able to invest in those either. So we're not going to have as big a like ICO mad rush, I don't think, as we did before. I think, if anything, some of the projects that already had their ICO and have use case, depending on their current financial situation, the projects that have stood the test of time, stuck it out throughout the bear market, and have continued to ride this train up, they're going to take some of that capital, and I believe we're going to start seeing some acquisitions, mergers, things like that. People buying the tech, people buying IPs, things. I see that being a bigger deal moving forward than anything else. And the fact of the matter is, just the team, man. Maybe I should do a cross comparison video, Ethereum against hell. You know what? I can make it interesting. Make Ethereum versus Tron versus Cardano, and break down the pros and cons of each and why. That might be a good idea. If you guys think that's a good idea for an upcoming video, let me know, and I will put that together, and I will research it and make sure that it's all not off the cuff. I'd be happy to do that if you guys would like to see it. Just the title would just be Ethereum versus Cardano versus Tron. Who wins? That would be the title of the video. Devs don't like ETH language. Well, and that's another thing. There's so much. Like, I've talked to I have legitimately talked to, I think, 4 different major projects who originally built on Ethereum, and 2 of them switched to Stellar Lumens because they just couldn't take Ethereum anymore. And the others are going other places. When Cardano is ready, the developmental adoption is going to be crazy. I mean, everybody's just waiting. Don't bother with Tron. That would be funny. That'd be great. Okay, thumbs up. I need to see some more subscriptions. That's what I need to see. I need to see more likes, more comments in the chats, the comments after the videos. It's like, if that starts to build up again, I'll start being more motivated to do much more time consuming videos. Maybe I'm trying to pull the cart before the horse. EOS, if I take my own personal feelings out of EOS outside of things, my own reservations, if you will, EOS is probably going to do real well too. I mean, let's face facts. Cardano, okay. All right, Jay McShay. I have heard devs say they like EOS better. Okay. Cage match. 3 cryptos enter, 1 leaves. Do we know when it'll be ready? Honestly, I tried to listen to, of all the money Charles has, apparently he hasn't been able to afford a new microphone. His audio is so low and so bad in his AMA today. I have to listen to it again. My wife had laundry going upstairs, and it was so loud it drowned out what little of Charles I was able to hear this afternoon. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that, and I'll try to get some more updates. Does it count if I unsubscribe and resubscribe? No, that doesn't count. And you guys have to make sure you're hitting the. I don't think a lot of you guys realize this, but YouTube's changed their alert notification thing. I don't know why they keep fucking with everything. But now, when you just clicking the notification bell isn't enough. You have to click it and then highlight all. That way, whether I go live or I upload a video, you get a notification. Otherwise, you'll just get one or the other. Thank you, Andrew Gonzalez. I appreciate it. 2 in one night. It must be a miracle day. Made my day. The first subscriber of the new day. It is now Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. It's 12:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. EOS will be huge in Africa. Brent, thank you, Brent Legase. Oh, 3. We might be breaking some records here. Breaking some bear market records with new subscribers. 223 people in chat. Makes me not want to leave. I've been on for over an hour, and now I just don't even want to go anywhere. I guess let's I'm gonna hit chat, answer some questions, maybe see if I can be helpful at all tonight. I will let everybody know that for those of you, because I have been getting comments on my passive income series in the cryptocrow.io website, and I've narrowed things down, what I'm going to be doing here. Where is my... these are all notes that I take all the time. You can't even see how many papers there are, but there's probably like 15 pages here. And I've got them everywhere. Here's my main one. And this is my big book. So I am not, for those of you that are kind of wondering, because I know a lot of you guys that watch me on a regular basis, you're very familiar, and some of you are really interested in this whole passive income thing that I'm doing. Inconceivable. I dig that. That's cool. A new crow is born. That's 4 tonight. So I'm going to update you guys on what I'm working on right now. I am actually preparing to launch 3 different products, okay, on Amazon. And I'm actually going to be investing a little bit of money. Like I shouldn't say a little bit, like a little bit, a lot. And I'll tell you what I'm going to be doing. So one of them, I'm going to be private labeling, and I'm going to be doing a lot of off-site marketing. Off-site meaning off Amazon. I'm going to be doing like YouTube videos, Facebook ads, all sorts of stuff to build this product. And I'm going to be doing videos of every step. And I'm going to show people, a lot of these guys out there, they do these courses. They charge people $2,000 for a course. And a lot of it's nonsense. A lot of it's bullshit. It's fake. They're scammers, like legit, like kind of scammers, right? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be recording steps and things that I'm doing as I'm doing these 3 separate case studies. And you guys are going to see the results from start to finish. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. But the fact is that the cryptocrow.io, all the course content, all that stuff, it's all going to be free anyway. So it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'll make some money. I'll make a little bit of cash off of the affiliate links and things, but I'm not going to try and bleed my viewers for $2,000 and then try to upsell them on a whole bunch of other nonsense. It's not even going to help you. So, but I do want to try and teach you guys how to make some serious cash. And if this is a way to do it, I'm going to figure out if it is worthwhile in 2020 and moving forward. And I'm going to show you guys everything that I'm doing. And the other one is just going to be just Amazon marketing. That's it. So, basically I'm going to take a product. I'll probably private label that one. I'm going to put it on Amazon, and all I'm going to do is Amazon pay-per-click, and I'm going to focus on the listing page. The third product is going to be my own custom product that I'm designing myself right now. And I've got designers, I've got people working on it. It's going to be a big risk, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to see, like, where can I make the most money? Where can you make the most money? And what is the process from from A to Z? If you wanted to create your own product, what does it take? What does it cost? What's the process? And is it profitable? Obviously, profitability is going to be dictated a lot by market demand and what the product is. So it's definitely a relative scenario for each one of these use cases. But I'm going to be doing it, and I'm not going to be charging you guys a dime for it. So hopefully those get some subscribers and some likes, and people actually care, even though it's not crypto related. Yeah. Go get a beer. This is live, Ackman. I hear Ack, and I think of that Aliens movie, when they come down and like all the stars. Let's see here. Room for both. What products are you working on? Well, that I don't want to say yet, because I don't want to create competition for myself before I've even done it. But they'll be cool. Once I've launched the products and they're at market, then I'll announce them. I'll let you know this is my product, and here are the videos. Here's everything I did to get it to this point. Okay, but I don't want to announce what the actual products are until they're already out there. Yeah. Selling on Amazon sucks. It's all relative, man. I'm telling you. Just create a shitcoin. Boom. Insta-millionaire. Definitely don't want to do that. Late night streams. Yeah, it's at some point. Well, and I will tell everybody. Like, obviously, I've got Crow Trader. That's going to do well. I've even got the Cardano pool. Cardano pool. I've got that now, which is going to be really cool. I've got Crow mining, but I've got a developer working on a new platform that I think is really going to be slick. And I'm expecting to see my first beta within the next week. So we'll see. But yeah, I think that'll be something that will do really well. It'll be something that'll be proud to promote, proud to use, proud to market to everybody. I'm not going to be sweating liability. I'm not going to be sweating hackings. I'm not going to be sweating any of that crazy stuff. I have to be able to sleep at night, man. I just, yeah, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with stress anymore. I'm just too old. Always watching Crypto Crow, not in a creepy way. What's up, Sherry Thomas? Crow's gonna start slinging grand pianos. Nope. Not gonna happen. I sell chlorella powder. I love the green. Cerrone took a dive. That's funny. Man, I don't know. I really don't know. What I do know is that they there was a video or something that surfaced recently that showed McGregor drilling those shoulder strikes, and he was in the exact same positioning and everything that he and Cerrone were when he pulled those off. I'm not saying it was choreographed or anything. As far as I understand it, Joe Rogan said that Cerrone broke his orbital bone like during that fight. So if you're going to take a dive, I would think you try to do it without fracturing something. But I guess I'm assuming a couple $1 million, maybe it's worth an orbital fracture. I don't really know. Cerrone's one of those guys where, and even leading up to the fight, he talked about how he made X amount of money, but all that money's gone and daddy's got to pay the bills. And he's made all these comments like he didn't have much cash and he really needed this. And, it could have been one of those perfect storms. Look, I've seen other people. I even saw, oh my gosh, Tyson, is it Tyson? The Gypsy King, the heavyweight boxer. And, somebody interviewed him and was asking him about the fight. And right off the bat, he was like, look, this is entertainment. It probably wasn't a real fight. Maybe he took a dive that was a little orchestrated somehow as a way to get Conor back in the good graces of the world before some of these major pay-per-view bouts. And he did it against an opponent where they were all respectful. They weren't dumping on each other. I don't know. It makes a lot of sense. I was disappointed because I bought the pay-per-view. And, that 40-second nonsense, I'm like, where was the fight? That was it was silliness. But at the same time, Conor did look pretty damn good at 170. And I'd love to believe that Cerrone wouldn't take a dive or anything, but I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think of Link? I think a lot of people like it. What's the scoop on GoChain? I have not heard from them in a while. I message them all the time. I don't know. I know they're actively working on building some really big relationships overseas and things like that, but they don't tell me shit. So, I would love for them to keep me in the loop of things, and that Jason Decker was supposed to come live and discuss the project and all this new stuff, but he hasn't reached out to me. Quickest fight I ever seen. Shit. My fight was over in 35 seconds. Sup? TKO. Tyson Fury. Thank you, Face. Thank you. Tyson versus Spinks. I'm actually kind of interested in watching that Deontay Wilder and Tyson rematch. How much do you think he made on the fight? How much do I think who made? Conor apparently made 80 mil. I don't know. And I think Cerrone made 2. How many fights did you do? I only fought once. I got into it as a fighter. I started training at 305 and dropped down. I lost at 270. I was down to 270 pounds. And then all kinds of stuff happened, and I started promoting, and I got caught up in the business side of things, so I never fought because you can't fight with a promoter's license. And that was all at a time when it was all new, and it was kind of crazy. And then, fast forward 6 years later, I'm like, I'm getting ready. I'm ready to get out, but I didn't want to leave that industry until I kind of accomplished what I had set out to do. Because like, remember, if you know, some of you guys are new, you know, when I first got in, I was borderline diabetic, and you know, I was drinking a 2 liter of Pepsi every day. This was towards the end of like a 7-year abstinence, and I was trying to find myself and all this other stuff. I didn't want girls to like me. I used to be pretty, believe it or not. I really was. And it was kind of a curse at the same time. And so I basically ate fast food every day and drank a 2 liter Pepsi and got myself kind of fat. And I just swore off women and dating and everything for like 7 years, like for real. And then, but I never like thought, well, it's gonna give me health problems. I just thought I might get fat and like I just life would be easier. And so at 305, I like my blood sugar would drop through the floor and I'd fall asleep. And then I found out, well, that could kill you. I'm so not kidding, man. And I was, holy shit. And I'm like, I'm going to go join a fight team and I'm going to like start training. And I did, man. I trained like 5 days a week. I was doing boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. I would do some wrestling. And I just dropped weight so fast. Like my diet, everything I did just changed drastically. And so yeah, I ended up fighting right before I got out. I fought a guy who was, I think he was 7-4 at the time. He was 6'6", and he's just a gamer. Like he'd fight anybody, you know what I mean? And just a super sweet, super nice guy. But when he gets in the cage, he's just like a beast. And you know, he actually took the fight with me because I had brought it up, I think maybe a year prior, like one of these days it's you and me, because he was like the tallest guy, you know, and he's like, anytime. And so once I decided to get out of the business, you know, I sent him a message. I'm like, hey man, you want to do this? It'll be great. You know, and he didn't bat an eye. He was like, well, let's go. And but I think I was 285 at the time I ended up fighting him, and he was like 250 something. He had lost some weight. He used to be a much like bigger dude, but he had like thinned down. And so he when we fought, he was like 250 something. I was 280. So he gave up 30 pounds, but the commission allowed it because he had a whole lot more experience and it was my debut. And then I won in 35 seconds. And that was it. All right. Rest in peace, Colby. How old am I? 25. All right, hour and 17 minutes. This is the longest video I've done in quite some time, so hopefully it's helpful to everybody, but I'm going to call it a night because it's almost 1 in the morning. Go check out Crypto Face. He's probably going to listen to some EDM, play some blackjack, and talk shit to his charts. Thanks for joining me, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you again real soon. And make sure you check out CryptoCrow.io. Watch those videos, get involved in that community. And until next time, I'll see you again soon. Grow your coin.